Hello, welcome to another video, and today I just wanted to highlight a bunch of different things you can do to help survivability at Chaos 50. I've been seeing a lot of, hey, bosses hit too hard at Chaos 50, enemies hit too hard at Chaos 50, and while they do hit very hard, well, bosses don't anymore. They've been nerfed into the ground in terms of damage, and that's kind of what this video shows off. Ads still do hit quite hard, but there are many things you can do. So, look at your health bar in-game, and how big is it? Is it about 3,000? Maybe you're running Glass Cannon, no Mage Armor, Cursed Wit, so you got no health on there as well. Well, currently I have about 40,000. That's not for show. This is a lands game in which building for buffer is not a waste of time, and that it actually really helps. This isn't a game of everything health gates you. If you have 3,000 health, yes, most things are going to healthgate you, but it's very easy to build up to, you know, about 8,000 and 9,000. That's where, like, that's just a good primordial shield plus armored defense will get you to about 10, 11 total thousand hit points, maybe a bit more. And that's without further investment. Further investment can get you to something like that. Now, it's not going to be as big if you're not running Berserker on armored defense, but that's fine. I've got well enough. So, a handful of things you can do to increase your survivability. There isn't really much going on in terms of weapons and melee. You can use a pan, don't think this save file has one. Yeah, you can use a pan, that helps with bullets in general ads. But running a big shield. Now, this is a very big shield. It doesn't need to be this big, but on a lot of my builds, I run about an 8k body rune. If you can get at least 6, 7, 8k on your shield by Chaos 50, you're in a pretty good spot. Obviously, capacity part would be even better there. But big old shield. Actually going for shield capacity, even though the rate doesn't follow it, it does help. And with Blightcaller, keeping that up will be quite much easier. Spell Shot has a good skill for recharging your shield. It's all percentage-based healing as well. It's not like Borderlands games, where lower health gets you above health gate faster. In this game, all like health regen is percentage-based. So there's zero benefit for going less health. Always go more health. You get more regen, more buffer. It actually makes a difference. If Western's one-shotting you, like through all your health and shields and health gating you, well, you can actually make a difference. If you build in buffer, Western can hit you and you're still above the health gate mark, allowing you to tank 2 hits and requiring him to fire 3, which is a big difference. Enchanted, well, health is below 50%, gain health regen. Health regen is good, as I said. You compare this with other forms of health regen and you're laughing. Dark magic weapons are good for that as well. Spells and melee don't really regenerate your health very efficiently. It's weird, they need to fix that. But weapons are good. Dark magic weapons are good. Health regen on armor piece is always solid, although selective amnesia is just going to be counterintuitive, though we can get away with it. Harbinger, shield capacity is good, and then activating your action skill instantly restores your ward, 50% of your ward over 2 seconds. That is very powerful if you're about to take a ton of damage and you can time that well your action skill, which is good for, say, bow, even though bow is ranged, and it's great for something like this, Dreadwind. And then finally, well, not finally yet, but in terms of gear, finally, Fortifying Sigils are amazing. Sigils themselves block projectiles. What you can do is you can just plonk it down, and Wasted will shoot you, and the bullets will just hit the barrier. If you're using Polymorph, you can just alternate putting a shield on you, then a shield on Wasted with Polymorph. You just alternate, and Wasted just can't hit you. It's really funny. But then it gives you 8% health regen. So that 8% plus that 5% is really good. If I go over to a body rune here, body rune also can give you 50% of HP when you kill an enemy as well. So that's very useful for some burst healing. Again, all of these things, the more, like, one on their own is good, but the more that you add on, the better. Like, there's the more and more healing you get. In terms of skills, Berserker's on armor defense is going to be the best single point health regen in the game. Other than that, just take what your class allows. Mage Armor is very good. Sanguine Sacrament is probably the single best health regen skill in the entire game, or just best form of tank in the entire game. Any fight for your life save is good, so that's going to be Dread Covenant, Indomitable, the Mushroom Revive. Any of those are great. Samurai's Elusive is pretty good as well. And then Blood Frenzy, I've only got 1 point here, but Blood Frenzy's solid, and Yielding's alright. And then, one thing that is hugely overlooked, Constitution. 75% max health and ward together. And if you're running an armored defense, increasing your ward also increases your health, so it kind of goes a bit out of control. Constitution is really underrated. We kind of memed on it when the stat was announced, like, oh, why would you ever want to do that in a Lands game? That's silly. But actually, Constitution is really, really powerful. And it's one of the easiest things you can do. If you like to go full strength, full intelligence, or full strength, full dex, full strength, full attunement, whatever, you can have Constitution as your third. You don't even have to max it out. Just have it as your third one that you fill most of the way. As your third choice. And it's good for that. If you just want that little bit of extra tank, it's good for that. And then finally, the absolute easiest and biggest thing you can do to tank is play on a lower difficulty in Balanced and Relaxed. This doesn't actually affect your drop rates at all. All it affects is your money and your moon orbs. That's it. In terms of getting legendaries, in terms of getting ascendants, it does not affect that at all. And I love playing it intense. I'll always play it on intense. But if bosses are giving you too much trouble, if you're unable to consistently dodge various boss attacks, then this is just... don't overlook it. If you go relaxed, maxed Constitution, and then a primordial shield of some description, that alone will just make such a difference in your survivability. Got a few just clips here, which I'll end it off with, just face tanking some bosses. Now, okay, the bosses do also die, which helps. Killing the boss quickly means they can't kill you anymore. It's good strategy. But yeah, you can tank in this game very well, even on Chaos 50. Now, obviously, dodging attacks is going to be king. Don't get hit at all. Lots of attacks in this game are very well telegraphed. So take Vullus's Giza, not like it does much damage anymore after getting pounded by Nurse, which is a big shame. Giza has got a sound cue and a visual cue on Solissa. That one's very, very dodgeable. Dragon Lord's spin, corrosive spin. He'll often do it after he slams the ground. When you're close, you just back away, wait for it to come, jump over it. And there'll also be a flash of green about 1.5 seconds before he does it. So that's a dodgeable one. Nightmare, every single attack is dodgeable. Nightmare's kind of funny. Just crouch in the middle for like most of the attacks, and then when he does the projectiles, go either really far away or really, really close. And does those homing shot projectile-y thingies. What are some other nasty bosses? I mean, I guess there's Parasite's Beam Laser, which isn't very dodgeable, but that's Parasite. LeChance is pretty accurate on the anchor throw, but, you know, Gut Strife can dodge that one, and then just get away from where the mortars will come down. And that's the ones off the top of my head. Drill's attacks are all dodgeable. If he attacks with his right hand, go to his left. If he attacks with his left hand, goes to his right. If he does both hands, go close. You can go underneath and behind the hands, because they know that outwards. So if you just go really close, jump into the water if you need to. And if you're in the water, he basically can't attack you. Yeah. I think that covers most of the big bosses. Zomboss is a lot of just break line of sight. The arena's good for that. Volcanar just keeps strafing. The homing projectiles, you can kind of like dip behind them and they can't do a 180, and you'll just get to forget about those. Also, Sigils hard counter Volcanar. I think that's all the bosses. Banshee. Well, Banshee, when you're doing Dance Dance Revolution, that's just crouch, jump. Stay crouch and jump when you need to. And then for the projectiles, it's strafing and using cover. So Banshee's not too bad. A bit annoying if you melee though, but if you melee, you tend to have a lot of damage. So yeah, that is most things. So yeah, I'm gonna wrap it up here. Hopefully, you know, that is a lot of options that you can just pick and choose from, or go with them all, to make yourself as tanky as possible, to help with bosses just annihilating you at endgame, because they don't actually do that much damage. You can get yourself into a situation where you can tank them pretty easily. So I hope this is helpful. Thank you very, very much for watching. Have a wonderful rest of the evening. Stay safe, stay awesome. I'll catch you next time. Bye-bye.